What's going on, everybody? Don here, and today I have my undefeated One Piece Zoro deck profile. Before I begin, make sure to check my website at ygopaisano.com. Links below down in the description. You get these amazing One Piece custom tokens. These things look absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Once again, make sure to check out ygopaisano.com. Alright, let's go over the deck profile. What I'm going to do in my deck profiles is show you the whole entire deck, and then I'll go back over and give you guys my reasons for why my card choices are what they are. So right off the gate, we have one Shanks, 4 5-drop Luffy, 4 Zoro, 4 Brook, 4 Nico Robin. We're gonna go everything in order. These are basically just, once again, I'll give you my reason after the video. 1 Diablo Jambe, 2 Gum Gum Fire Pistol Red Hawk, 3 Gum Gum Jet Pistol, 4 Otama, 4 Chopper, 4 Nami of the unplay Nami, 2nd of the activate main Nami. This card's insane. 3 Uda, and now these are my these are cards you can play around with, but I'm still playing around with these cards on ratio wise. But 2 Sanji of the Lifer Sanji, 2 of the Rush Sanji, 2 of the Law, and 2 Monkey D Luffy. All right. So let me go over the reason why I decided to choose certain cards and how they worked out. We'll start with Luffy. I like Luffy because as a 2-drop, this card immediately becomes a threat, like immediately. You put this card on board, you can't swing with it yet because there's no rush. But on the following turn, this card's going to 5. Just boom, from a 2-drop. A 2-drop immediately getting hit at the face is insanely important. I think dropping this card out early is really good for the game state. It really forces your opponent to have an answer, almost like early on in game. If they don't, this card swinging with 5 by itself, 6 with Zoro. So I think the 2-drop Luffy is huge. It also can counter for 1k as well, just in case. So I do like that synergy. Next we have Law. I didn't think I was going to like this card at all. I thought I was going to hate this card. But I really do like this card a lot. One, for a 4-drop, it's 5k, which is pretty huge. Also, it has counter 1000. Its ability is like Otama's, though. Touches out on board, targets a character, makes it minus 2000. And that puts it in range for Gum Gum Jet Pistol. One thing I like about Law a lot as well is the fact that it's 4-drop of 5k, meaning the second you drop it on your next turn, you're swinging with Zoro for 6, and that's huge. Up next, we have the Rush Sanji. So assessing Rush Sanji versus the Lifer Sanji. I like Lifer Sanji. It's a 2k counter, which I like a lot, whereas Rush Sanji is not a counter. But I'll be honest with you, I rarely got a chance to really put this card down. This is a card normally you want to play against slower decks, so like Green Kid Eustace. You put this down, next turn, you get a life, this card's swinging for 7, 8, it's hitting hard. And one thing I like about Lifer Sanji against those green matches is the fact that it's a threat almost right out the gate, kind of like Luffy is. So it's basically like Luffy. Luffy's a threat, Sanji's a threat as well. The Rush Sanji, if it was even counter 1000, there would not be no discussion. We would be playing 4 of these. But the fact that it doesn't have a counter is insanely relevant. This is counter 2k, which is actually a big deal. As far as ratios, I don't know exactly at the moment what I want to do with them, but that's something I find really interesting to note. Alright, up next is Uda. A lot of builds play 4 Uda. I think you just need to play 3. For the most part, per game, you might play only 2 of these in the game. So you want to play 3 to try to see it. Even most games, you probably won't even play 2. You probably would just play 1. I know a lot of my matches, I only play this card 1 time. It has no counter, so that's also really relevant. And getting a red character back is essential, so you still need to see this card. So that's why I think 3 is the perfect ratio. I don't like 4 whatsoever. This is one of the best Namis in the game, and every red player's not playing it, and this is why we're not seeing red top. This is easily the best card in the game. This card's insane. So, for anyone who doesn't know what Zoro does, you down 1, or your character's gain 1000 attack. That's it. That's that simple. Nami's the gift that keeps on giving every single turn. If your opponent does not get rid of this card off the board after this card hits board, they're now losing to you via Dawn every single turn. Think about it. I go turn 1. I drop Nami. You pass. You go do your play, pass. I go. I bring out another character card. We'll say we bring out Luffy. Once again, putting pressure next turn, right? Sure. But Nami is still going to be able to put that Dawn now because I tap 2 on Zoro. I basically got 1 extra Dawn that's rested on my character for free. A lot of Zoro matches you see, they have to dedicate one Don immediately to Zoro. No, 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 no. Why do that? Nami will get you there. Nami will give you that Zoro. And I feel like a lot of matches we see that people playing Zoro is they're just if they're not playing this card, I don't like their build. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is one of the best cards in the deck. I played against an opponent where he had 2 of these out, and it was a Zoro mirror match. And it was a really rough match because he had so much advantage. He was essentially getting 2 extra Don per turn, which is a big deal. One of these touching down is massive. I'll just note to everybody watching this video, if you have this Nami, you cannot search out this Nami, because Nami can't search Nami. Just throwing it out there. Like I said in my Kaido video, I think Zoro is one of the best decks up there with Kaido. Kaido and Zoro are 2 of the best decks in the game. Kaido can break your opponent's board and slow the game state down until it happens. Zoro doesn't care what Kaido does. It's one of the very few decks that says, oh, you want to break our board? Sure. 5-drop Luffy, 3-drop Zoro, swing for game. So I do think this deck counters Kaido perfectly. I also think this deck is really good at rushing other builds. I think this is, like I said, one of the best decks in the game. The reason why nobody's playing it, because they're not playing the best card for their deck. Like, this card is insane. It's also going to be getting an alternate art soon, so really good. Like I said, if you're watching a Zoro build, if you're watching mine amongst other Zoro builds, and this ain't in it, just keep going. They don't know what they're talking about. I don't want to insult them. They might have won a locals or whatever. Dude, if you're not playing the best card, you're not getting the best results. Then we have a chopper blocker. So I know there's some builders of Zoro that don't want to play this card. They don't like playing a blocker. And the reason why I like to play this card, one, because the mirror matches, because you could take away tempo, which is having a blocker, which is huge. But 2, and I think more importantly, you need a way, especially in the middle of the game state, to slow down your opponent from hitting you. Where your opponent can throw blockers out themselves, you can't. You're going to be giving cards out of your hand away to your opponent. So I think, like, for 1 Don, this card's more than enough to be able to put down. We also play Forotama, 2k counter. It's actually another ability, putting it down, minusing your opponent's character by 2k is insanely relevant. I think this card's insane as well. Another great staple for any Zoro deck. Then we have this card. So, I'll tell you right now, this is me. I was testing out Gum Gum Fire Pistol Red Hawk. Jet Pistol is a must-have. I might even bump it to 4. Diablo Jambi is another card I was testing out, so I was basically testing out these 3 cards. With Fire Pistol Red Hawk, it's not a bad card for early game against a lot of decks. Late game, this card is garbage. And I think, when you're playing the mirror match, this card's good. And as Zoro gets more popular, I think this card would be insane. But as it stands right now, it's a decent card. And you kind of need it. And there are certain times when you resolve this card, you will blow your opponent's a blocker up. And you'll feel really good. Especially as players are just kind of creating a board, then swinging. So, like, it kind of, like, rewards you for just being a little more patient. Diablo Jambi, if anyone doesn't know what this card does, is select one of your Straw Hat Crew or leader character cards. Your opponent cannot activate a blocker. So this is good against green. That's it. It's decent against Law, but realistically, you're putting this down against Kid Eustace. You're putting this down against a huge blocker decks. And that this card might not see as much play. I don't hate this card. I think we already have a pretty decent Kid matchup if you know how to play the matchup correctly. I just think that Diablo Jambi is... It's a decent card at its best day. I'm not sure if it's really good, though. I don't know. I'm like 50-50 on it. Comment down below if you like this card, if you used it, and how do you feel about it. This is one of the best cards in the deck, and I think this card needs to alternate art immediately. Like, make me a promo version of Nico Robin. I'm getting my play set. I'm slowly buying this deck up, by the way. I want to get this deck max rarity. I don't like pre-release cards, by the way. People like them a lot. I don't like pre-release cards. I don't care about the stamp. I don't care about paying $25 for one card because I have a stamp on it. To me, that's goofy. But looking over at Nico Robin, for down 1, knock out one of your opponent's characters with 3,000 power or less. The reason why she's so good is because not only do we play Otama, but we also play Law. So we can kind of migrate the power of a character, so we can Gum Jet Pistol them. So yeah, Gum Jet Pistol them, and I really like that a lot. I really think that's cool. This is like my favorite card in the deck. Every early game you get this card out, you're just getting value. This is what your Nami is searching, by the way. Like, this is what you want. You want to go turn 1 Nami, turn 2 Nico Robin, turn 3 control the game, start hitting for face. That's it. It's that simple. And this deck can do it very well and efficiently. So, besides being a 2K counter, I will say Brook's probably one of the best 2K counters in the game. Like, this card's wild. Give 2 Rested Dawn to one of your leader or character cards. Very, 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 very good. It's also a 2-drop for 3K, so it's pretty, good on the cost versus attack. I really like it a lot. Then we have Zoro. These are all standards. People are starting to play 2 Shanks. Now, I'm still a one shanks kind of guy, and the reason why is very simple. Because if you open one shanks early game, you essentially open one less card early game. And by the time you do get to 9, 10 Dawn, which you will get to more than likely in this deck, in this game, the issue with having this card is, do you play this card now and just only go down to 1 Dawn? Is it worth it? Is your board okay with that? Do you have enough blockers? Do you have enough counter? Do you have enough? And I think the answer majority of the time is really no. Once again, I don't hate Shanks. This card's insane. This card will win you games. No doubt in my mind. But is it worth playing too? That's a question every Zoro player has to ask themselves. I'm a big fan of this card, but I don't know if it's worth it playing it as a 9-drop. Anyway, guys, this is my Zoro deck profile. Once again, I went undefeated at locals. I'll probably post some matches up here on YouTube in a bit. Happy holidays to everybody. Happy New Year, all that crap. Listen, if you want to see more Zoro gameplay, let me know. This is definitely the deck. This and Kaido are going to be a decks I'm going to be playing in the big events. I'm going to be playing other decks out as well, test them out and whatnot, but this is my real deck. This is like, Zoro is my deck. So is Kaido. These are the best decks in the game. I think it'd be really cool to see how other decks work, and we're going to be getting involved in those other decks. I know I already did a deck profile of this deck, but I want to do an updated version to show you how much better this deck is and has gotten. Anyway, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Please make sure to like button, subscribe button. It's always important. I always appreciate it. Notification bell. All right, guys, this is Don. You guys have a great one.